Well, hi all. Happy Homebrew Wednesday. How you all doing? Hang on. Get my list. My cup of tea. I don't know. I don't feel like drinking so much in the week at the moment because it's just too cold, and I think we just need to be like next to a nice log fire to drink beer this time of year. Anyway, bit of an update. I'm going to have a brew day, which I'm going to tag along at the end of this video. Or I think I might I was just looking at what I was going to talk about tonight. I think I'm going to go on too much again, as I always do. Well over my 15 minutes allocation. Sorry, SJ. And so I will be putting my brew day on slightly separate one, which will be coming out maybe even before this one because this takes sometimes my videos take a little while to upload on my ADSL. Anyways, give you an update as I said. So brew day weekend, I've made a kind of a Belgium style IPA. I don't know how close to, I mean, it's not even a specific style, but I just knocked it together anyway. I used the Belgian yeast, I used some Perla, I used some Magnum. I think that's European Magnum. I don't think it's German Magnum, American Magnum. I might be wrong, but I'm going to pretend it's European. So I used Magnum for bittering, Perla for aroma hops, and some S33 yeast. I used some biscuit malts and marrow solder and some Pilsner malt in the grains, and yeah, fermented it up. All finished off at the back there now, so I'm going to give it a few more days to finish off. I'll kick it up next week, and hopefully I'm going to take it along to my home brewers meetup group. It's the Bristol Brewers, and that's in the Languedoc in the Wood. They volunteer in Bristol on the first Monday of every month. But every Christmas they have a thing called a winter warmer, where we take beer in and we all have like a little competition together. It kind of gets semi-judged, and people just say which beer they like the most and think the type of beer they'd like to snuggle up next to a fire with. So yeah, my IPA is going to be about 6%, maybe a little bit more, a little bit less, but I think it's on target to be 6%. I hit my numbers. So let's talk a bit more about the brew day. It's the first one I used with my Grainfather Connect. I can't connect to it, it's just a dumb unit at the moment because Grainfather haven't brought out their Apple Android version of the software. I've got a iPad up somewhere upstairs hiding in the cupboard. It's going to be a Christmas present for one of my daughters, but until that time comes, which will be Christmas, the Android app will be out by then. So yeah, I had to program it all manually. I set a mash schedule up. I started running that mash schedule up, and because I've started using my bag to obviously filter out the grains a bit more, I brewed the bag. I think the flow rate's a bit slower, so what I decided to do is to actually just slow the rate the water was going down, a bit flowing around, pumping around, just so it would give it more time to actually just go through the grain bed as opposed to spilling over the top. I've done that a bit before now, but this time I think I cocked up really. What happened is, because the Grainfather Connect actually just works on, it's got a PID, and it just, like, when it ramps the temperature up, it just turns both elements on, so it'll actually make it really hot and it just graduates the temperature now from full right down to very low, like, you know. So what I did a bash at 30 centigrade for about 20 minutes. Then I ramped it up to 65. then I wanted to ramp it up to 75 degrees, and I had that flow rate going on, and when I ramped it up to when it finished as 30, it started ramping up. It got to about 56. The water burnt on the bottom of the boiler, and it tripped its fuse. Or just got its own little thing at the bottom, and yeah, so I had to stop. I didn't know about the trip switch at the bottom, and eventually I found it as a little button at the bottom, and that was from looking on the grandfather's website. So yeah, I reset that, and because I couldn't really what was it? Because it had been very awkward to start the whole schedule. I don't know how to do it, but what I did, I just set it to the temperature I wanted it at after resetting it, and then just you can actually set the timer on the unit itself. So I'd set that to 60 minutes and let it mash for another 60 minutes at 65 degrees. Then I ramped it up to 75 manually and finished off. And the rest of the route is pretty straightforward. You'll see it afterwards anyway. So I hit my pH. I was at a 5.2. Got that bang on. I was after something like about 1060 for my original gravity, which was just about there as well, maybe a little bit over, a little bit under, not that bad, and the fermentation started pretty quickly as well. So yeah, this is the outcomes out. Any other ideas? Yeah, I just can't. I mean, I think next time I will just let the liquid flow out at normal speed. I think it's going to actually sink down through the grain at exactly the same rate, but it actually gives the gives a constant flow over the top of the element, so we don't get any of this burning going on. So other things I've been thinking about this week I've been thinking about Spunding valves. If you watch, if you're on Facebook and you go onto the All Grain Brewers channel, you might have seen me mention it there. And what is a Spunding valve? You say Spunding. It sounds like it's got some sort of Germanic roots in the name, I think. But what you do, you get you do your brew so far in your fermentation vessel, and once the fermentation starts to peter off a bit, you can either do two things. You can either wait until you're maybe about 5 points before the beer is fully attenuated, or you can wait till it fully attenuates. Pop it into your Cornelius keg, if you've got a Cornelius keg, obviously, and you stick this valve on to your cordy keg, and it's got tells you what the pressure is, and it also you've got the little release valve which you can set so that as the CO2 is actually, as the beer is just finishing off its fermentation, it actually naturally pressurizes the beer inside the Cornelius keg. So you set it to maybe 20, which would be about the right PSI for beer which is being carbonated at 19 centigrade. So once you got that beer and actually kill it down to maybe 10 centigrade, the CO2 levels in there will be about 2 bar, which would be about right. So yeah, I've been looking around. I was thinking about making one, checking out all parts. You can get a kind of like a regulator to regulate the pressure coming out. From what I found in America, and it costs about $18 in America, and then it costs another $13 to get it posted over here. But I found one or two, and they're all around £19, and I think I might order one and give it a try. I think a lot of people turn around and said, well, it's a waste of time, you can just do forced carbonation with your gas canister. You can end up with more sediment in the bottom, and it's going to take even more time from grain to glass. And yeah, they are right. I mean, sometimes I don't really want I'm quite prepared to sit around and wait a little bit for the beer to be ready. I mean, traditionally with kind of beers, apart from the American IPAs and the anything which is dry hop basically, and the wheat beers and things like that, most of them, they just need to sit in that keg and just mature for a good maybe 4 weeks most of the time if you've done a nice strong one. And why not just have it sat in a corner with the spunding valve on, conditioning and carbonating at the same time, and I think you might most likely get a much better carbonation as well. You get natural carbonation with the actual CO2 as opposed to the CO2 that you get out of the canisters, which is still food grade, but perhaps it may not be, I don't know, just nice to do it more natural, isn't it? So that's what's on the pipeline for maybe a kit update. I think I might put it on my list to Santa. I'll have to get that with them soon. It's about the kind of right price for a about £20, so it's the right price for a kind of little Christmas present box. So there we are. Gonna make a few beers for the guys in the office for Christmas, and what I normally do, I put I use these 5 litre party kegs. I'll grab one now. Hang on. There we go. These little party cake things. So you just fill them up with your beer, sterilise with star sand and all that, and then you get a lovely little bung which goes to the top here, which pushes in, and it's completely sealed up then. Once you've done that, you just pull the try to pull that out, serve the beer, and off you go. So traditionally, well, for last year I actually bought these kegs from Germany for about £4 a keg. So I've gone back to the same company this year out in Germany, and with the euro going up and all that, they put their prices and delivery. The prices now up to about almost £9 per can, which, in all honesty, for just like a tin can which is empty, I think €8 is too much. And in the UK, most places, I think like Brew UK, and I don't think Malt Mill does it, but all the other places, they do it for £6, £7, maybe £8 in some places. I have found a company though. I found a company up by Manchester, and they're a kind of beer wholesaler, but they also sell the kegs, and they only sell minimum 10 a go, which is exactly how many I want, and they're selling them for £4 a can. So that's a winner. I think, as my friend from Yorkshire would say, winner chicken dinner. So that's good. I'll have to pay a little bit of extra postage on top there, and I haven't got the bungs, but I've got spare bungs myself to put in there. So yes, leave a message down below if you want to have the URL. If you're on the Facebook, on your All Grain Brewers group on Facebook, just search out I've got a little just search out any other stuff in my name there, so I've got something there where I say the company. But if not, just leave a message down below and I'll give you the link to that company. And is that it? That's it. Right, have a good week, guys, ladies. Like, subscribe. Thanks for subscribing. Up to 120 users now almost. It's doing well. And I'll see you all soon. Bye.